So the first thing that came to my mind, was I was reading articles, NCAA, G League, NBA. When you were playing in the G League, they both, tried to go deep in interviews with you about chess.
Yeah, I feel like I've had like an interview about chess like almost everywhere I've been at, which is good though. It shows like a side of me outside of basketball, which is kind of, especially from chess, very different because I'm way more aggressive and on the battlefield. But in chess is you in the battlefield as well, but definitely more so mentally. So you try to just like relax and just make sure you're calculated without making too many mishaps like I did at 30 earlier.
Can you drive me through your first glimpses and moments in chess and basketball? Like, I mean, when you fell in love with basketball, how different was it from when you fell in love with chess?
I feel like for me, when I'm passionate about something, it's like I show it, like I wear it on my sleeve, and I feel like basketball and chess has been that for me as long as I could remember. From a young age, playing against my father, playing against my grandfather, going to my after-school program, going around New York City, playing in tournaments as well. It was, and doing the same thing for basketball. Playing basketball against my dad and everything like that. It was true passions. It was organic. It was natural for me, and I also love to improve, and to get better at stuff, especially when I'm not that good. And I'm decent at basketball and chess now, but there was a time where I needed a lot of the work that I did over the years, and that fueled me to want to become, a better overall basketball player, person, and chess player as well.
Was there any kind of moments, even the slightest, where you maybe said, okay, this chess thing might get, something, I wouldn't say professional, but that you wanted to get it better and better and better?
I would say, well, in New York, it's just like, it's like a competitive day every day, around friends, around, that's just the environment that is New York City. So I would say it definitely started, with my friends, in the after-school program. It's nothing better than, slamming your queen down the board, putting your opponent in checkmate and letting the whole after-school program know about it. And then, and going from the after-school program, like I said, to traveling to Manhattan and traveling around the city, playing some tournaments as well. I remember I lost, and I was like, I was devastated, but it was a great lesson, and it was a great experience as well. And then me going to boarding school for the first time, and then actually winning the tournament, I was ecstatic. I was elated to have done that, because it's like it's not something that's given to you. You have to earn it. So when you have to earn it, and you truly had to put in work to earn it, it's not like you were just naturally good at it. It just, as they say, it hit different. It hit different.
Yeah, and obviously you said, I'm a fast-paced player, and chess obviously is a slow-down game.
Yeah.
But is it only, let's say, a time in fact, or the way that the game is played, or is also mental?
I would say it's about pace. Just like the game. It's extremely relatable to basketball, because there's times in chess, like in basketball, where you need to keep your opponent on his heels and moving and overthinking. And there's times in chess when you need to slow down, just like in basketball, where you need to actually run a set. You don't need to just go push down the court and go take the first shot. And obviously those things are easier said than done. But with experience and committed, what's the word I'm looking for? A committed effort to getting better, usually it'll come over time and it'll click for you, and then you'll be able to become a master of the game, or a grandmaster in chess, as they say. But I'm far from that though. I got a lot of work to do, but it keeps it interesting though.
And obviously last year here in Tortona there was Tommy Cusi, who was also another chess player. in Italy we had Jordan Ford as well, who was a chess, who was and is a chess player. Used to play for Trento and Trapani. Are there any basketball player that you know that are or were chess players that maybe sometimes you speak about chess or stuff like that?
Supposedly maybe some of my teammates in the locker room play now though, but I literally saw Tommy Kuzi play chess every road trip. Rather, if we went to Athens, if we went to Spain, if we went to Sardinia, anywhere we went in Italy or around Europe, he definitely was playing chess on his phone. I wouldn't say that's like my forte, but everyone has their own experience, and that's what it's about. Everyone can enjoy the game in their own way, and as long as you do that, especially in a healthy manner, who cares what anyone else thinks?
And there was a specific day when chess became like a trend on the internet when Wemby played in Washington
He's definitely
Park.
brought a lot of light to the game.
What was your reaction seeing that thing? Because I guess being a basketball player and being a chess player too, when you see a guy with that type of magnificency before him, magnitude,
sure.
exactly.
Absolutely.
How would you recount that?
Well, it definitely reminded me that like everybody is human for sure. You don't play basketball for 24 hours. Although we get paid to be professional basketball players, and it is a majority of our life. It is in our life. So it just reminded me that I'm human, that it's great to enjoy other things outside of basketball. It's great to challenge yourself. It's great to put yourself in, because I'm not sure how many tournaments, or I'm assuming it was a big deal because it hasn't really been seen of him doing that. So I don't personally know how many tournaments or things he's done like that. So I'm pretty sure that was, aside from the publicity that it brought for the game of chess, I'm sure that was a great experience for Wemby as well, to be able to just, sit down and just play a game. The other person is not caring what basketball he's playing. He's trying to win the game, So I think that was definitely a healthy moment for him, and definitely encouraging to like I said, just a reminder that it's great to have other things to do off the court, and like I said, to challenge yourself, especially mentally.
Since you mentioned, maybe teammates in the locker room that are more interested in chess, maybe it's a weird question, but knowing the personality, the attitude, and what the other guys do off the court, maybe if you could pick someone on the team that could maybe translate into a good chess player or somebody who would be interested in chess, do you have a name in mind?
Yeah, I gotta play P. I gotta play Hub, Prentiss Hub. I gotta play P, and because we were actually just talking about it today in the locker room, because I told him that I was doing this today, and of course he went straight to the phone and was like, "Oh, add me on chess," and I'm just like, I had to remember that that's his way, and it's not my place to judge, the way he plays chess. But it just showed how everyone is different. But I'll play P before the season is over for sure. Yeah. We can see how that goes.
Yeah, and I mean you've played in pretty good amount of places right now. Obviously US, you played in Poland. You play in the national team with Armenia. Obviously, apart from Armenia, where there's a good chess tradition.
For sure.
Did you have maybe the opportunity in Poland as well to play chess, maybe going around? Did you have maybe the opportunity to also speak with Dom about Poland, apart from chess?
So to answer the questions, I didn't get to play chess as much as I would like to, I would say, in Poland. But I definitely have been able to speak to Dom about my experience in Poland, about him being Polish, and like again, it just shows how how we're all people, like we all have our own experiences, our own journeys, and during those journeys, you know, we get to have some of those experiences together. So I definitely got to speak to Dom about that. But even though I was in the city, I was in Warsaw, which is more so the New York version of Warsaw, what I was told, and he's more in the country. But it's great to just know, like, hey, like we have, like, sometimes I say things to him in Polish. I try to remember from a couple of seasons ago. So it's definitely great to have people from different cultures and areas, because once you bring it together, you really show like how much camaraderie and how many things in common you really do have, especially when you're trying to achieve something together.
Yeah, we're shooting this in January, middle of the season, let's say.
Yeah.
I would say you have had a pretty good number of checkmate moments. I remember we posted on social when you updated your career high, and then it was
a week later.
Yeah, exactly. A week
like
later
that.
and 2 weeks later.
I'll say my Italian career high, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Italian career high. Career.
For sure.
But in your basketball career, what could you describe as a checkmate moment?
Oh, what can I describe as a checkmate moment? I don't feel like I could say that yet, because checkmate is the end of the game. And I feel like where I'm at in my life, in my career right now, there's so much more for me to accomplish. There's so much more for me to learn, for me to do that. I'm not thinking about checkmate. I'm just thinking about making sure my next move is the best move, to be completely honest. Checkmate will come when I wake up and I feel like I can't suit up anymore. But right now, I feel like I could wake up and dominate the world. So I'm not too worried about checkmate right now. I'm worried about making sure my next move sets me up to be able to checkmate my opponent. I'll say that.